So, welcome back to another episode of the Safe and Effective Podcast. I'm your host, Right Wing Rico. And I guess I'm not the only person who thought that this halftime show was ridiculous and it was pointless. The Super Bowl halftime show is supposed to be a spectacular event. Lately, it has been a hodgepodge where they kind of like different artists will bring in other artists and you'll get different genres, different sounds, and it's like a huge concert event, but it's amazing. Not this year. This year was horrible. It was boring. And I kept having people tell me, Rico, no. He's going to bring people, he's going to have special guests. And I said, no, he's from LA, he's from Compton. He's not paying anybody, he's not sharing any money. Actually, he spent money to do the Super Bowl show just so he could dedicate the whole thing to Drake. Even bringing out Drake's ex-girl that Drake skeeted up and got rid of, he even brought her on the stage. So it was really just a Drake dedication ceremony pretending to be a halftime show. There was nothing to do with Kendrick showcasing his artistry, how much of a good performer he is. Everything was about Drake. So as far as this beef goes, Drake won. Let's see. This is from the Post Millennium. The NFL is facing backlash over its decision to select Kendrick Lamar for this year's Super Bowl halftime show in New Orleans, with reports indicating that the league now regrets not choosing hometown artist Lil Wayne instead. Lamar's performance at the Caesars Superdome during the Philadelphia Eagles' 40-22 win over the KC Chiefs received mixed reactions, with some fans calling it the worst Super Bowl halftime show ever. In my opinion, it was unimpressive. They did like a trauma bonding ceremony with Kendrick Lamar in LA back in I think like last year sometime, where all these different athletes and rappers that have girlfriends that they're dating that Drake already had his way with vaginally, orally. All those guys were, they all got on stage and they had like a trauma bonding ceremony over the man that they hate over women, which is Drake. It was extremely embarrassing to see all these adult men on that stage hopping around to this song, and they did it already. And then they didn't do anything different at the Super Bowl than they did at this event. The only thing they did difference is they didn't play the same song 15 times in a row. That was it. Everything else was the exact same. And it was a waste. So let's see here. I guess we know Jay-Z will not be involved in selecting the talent anymore for Super Bowls. That's over with. And I'll be honest with you, I would not be surprised if they booked Drake to do next year's halftime show, and 100% Drake wouldn't waste 1 second promoting Kendrick Lamar or even mentioning him or talking about him or anything the way Kendrick Lamar did to Drake. So Kendrick's not getting any more invites. I'm pretty sure he goes underground now. There's not going to be any more music from him. His short reign, his short run was over. The Super Bowl was the last day. Drake is actually back to he has a #1 song out again, completely redeemed. And that whole thing just went away. The only people keeping it alive are people back in LA, and that's not that many. Skip Bayless actually is the one who reported on this. According to Skip Bayless, the NFL issued a formal apology to Lil Wayne. Now, I've never heard of anything like that happening. I don't see why they would have to apologize to him, because people kept saying, oh, Lil Wayne is on drugs, he wouldn't be a good entertainer. But don't forget, he has the Hot Boys, he has Master. I mean, there's a lot of different artists from that region of the country that if Lil Wayne was going to do a show, he would have brought them out and they would have put on an amazing, kind of like how when Snoop and Dre and everybody did this show in LA. It would have been like that. It would have been way better. But this is what Skip Bayless said that the Super Bowl was saying.
It just tears me apart when I see an ad for Kendrick Lamar playing the Super Bowl halftime show. Yes, Lil Wayne is my brother, but anyone can see this is just so wrong, so dirty, rotten, wrong, just so unfair. Come on. Wayne is New Orleans. And this Super Bowl obviously will be played in New Orleans. So why wasn't Wayne chosen? I don't know for sure, but this is what I think. Jay-Z runs the entertainment department for the NFL. So I'm assuming this was his decision and his alone. I'm guessing it came down to Wayne and Kendrick and Taylor Swift for halftime entertainment. Taylor's going to be there. I assume Jay-Z plus NFL anticipated, because the Chiefs were on a roll at that point, that she was going to make it to New Orleans. Check that box. But obviously, Kendrick's Not Like Us was already on its way to being the song of the year, capped off at the Grammys. And obviously, it's yet another Drake diss track. And obviously, Wayne and Drake are closely associated. And so what? So what? Wayne is New Orleans. At least the NFL immediately sent Wayne a letter of apology from nobody in particular, just from the league on NFL letterhead. A letter that thanked him for his years of supporting the league, not just the Packers, his favorite team, but supporting and promoting the NFL in general, which he has. I mean, he makes weekly appearances on the NFL Sunday pregame show, NFL Game Day Morning on NFL Network, but he will not play Sunday's halftime show. And he definitely won't watch a second of Sunday's halftime show. He will watch the game, just not the halftime show, not 1 second. When the news first broke, it hit Wayne hard. He didn't feel like doing much of anything for several long days and nights.
All right. I mean, look, the point is they, I don't know why, and I've never heard of this before, but I guess there are some regular people there and they wanted to apologize to him. I guess everyone just assumed Wayne was going to be picked to do the halftime show, but there are no guarantees. And remember, you do have to pay for the Super Bowl yourself. You're not paid to do it. It's up to you. I guess it's free promotion, free marketing. But again, it doesn't matter for Kendrick. He's not that type of artist. He does not put out consistent music. He's not a consistent artist. So, I mean, what is he really promoting by paying to do the Super Bowl? He really was just there promoting Drake. It was basically just a blow bang, a joint venture, if you will. And Serena on one side, Kendrick on the other, and Drake's just in the middle, just going like this. That's all I saw. That's it. I mean, yeah, this is not, I mean, this is American news. I just figured I would report on it. They wrote the man. I mean, basically, they wanted to apologize to everyone for such a terrible show that we all tuned in to watch. I've seen that show already. It wasn't worth it. I didn't even sit there and watch it. It was nothing to dance to. They literally, the record label, because they wanted to get a better deal with Drake during the negotiations, they paid to put that song everywhere. They paid to keep it blasting on radios all over the country. They took a pay cut just so they could afford to pay DJs and studios extra to keep playing it. It was not Song of the Year and loved by everybody organically. This was not organic. This was actually, and that's what they're being sued for. And we all know it's true. We've seen the evidence. It wasn't organic. And that's why people thought it was such a great song. But good enough to do a halftime show about it, Jay-Z is an idiot. He's still mad at Drake over Rihanna and Beyonce and nothing to do with the music. Also, people at the time when they made the selection, they were trying to get you to still vote for Kamala. And they would see Drake as being white adjacent. And then Kendrick sees himself as a slave because he talks about being a slave, even though he wasn't alive during slavery. None of you were. but they still do want to pretend that they are slaves. So Drake being adjacent white, the slave master versus the slaves. So they were trying to get this whole Kamala slavery crowd to vote for her. So that's why they made such a rash, idiotic decision to book him. But it was a bad one, and I'm glad they apologized. An apology is definitely deserved. Anyway, share the video, like and subscribe. We'll be back shortly with another video. Thanks.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.